This true story that happened to my dad. It takes place in 1976. Simpler times, no smartphones or social media. Some might say it was safer. Others could point out it was the year the son of Sam Killer began to terrorize New York City. America celebrated 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, but was still recovering from the Vietnam War. It was a time of a cultural change for music, movies, and trust in the government was low. There was a sort of wild freedom in the air. My dad was 18, fresh out of high school, and ready for adventure. He was determined to get out of his little town and see the Pacific Ocean. He decided he was going to hitchhike from his home in Pennsylvania all the way to California that summer. So he scraped together what little money he had, filled his backpack with some Ascenti essentials, and he hit the road. He didn't even tell my grandparents he was going. He had been on his trip for a couple weeks, catching rides, walking for miles, and sleeping wherever he could find shelter. He was roughing it, but having a great time. He'd even made some new friends along the way. He saw a lot, but there was one thing he never forgot, something that stayed with him for the rest of his life. He was somewhere in the Midwest when it happened. I wish I could tell you exactly where, but I can't remember. He knew, of course, but he has since passed away, so I can't ask him now. All I know is that he was on a long, quiet road with no cars and no houses in sight, just a tree line running alongside the pavement. He was walking and hadn't seen a car in a while when he heard a male voice, soft in tone but loud enough to get his attention. "Hey! Hey, brother!" He stopped and looked around. The road behind him was empty. Then the voice came again. "Up here, brother!" That's when he looked up and saw something in the tree. He could never fully describe what it was because the branches were blocking much of the view. He said all he could make out was a large silhouette, perched up there. And then it moved. Not fast or threatening, just a small shift. Enough to shake the branches a little, like maybe it had readjusted itself to get a better look at him. Then it spoke again. "You want to come up here with me?" He told me the voice wasn't threatening, but it wasn't right either. There was something off about it. Too casual, too familiar. Like it was pretending to be friendly. It was a lure that was deeply unsettling. He didn't panic despite the alarms going off in his head. He didn't know what to say except, "No, thank you." And then he kept walking. That's when it started laughing. Not loud, just a slow, steady chuckle that followed him as he walked down the road. He never turned around. Who knows Edgar he would have seen if he had. He walked about a half a mile before a car came by and luckily picked him up. He was so relieved and just wanted to get as far away from that area as possible. He told this story many times over the years. This strange moment with something he couldn't explain, something that spoke to him, offered him a place beside it, and laughed when he refused. And I've thought about that moment more than once. What was in that tree? Was it a skinwalker? Some kind of trickster spirit? An alien? What did it want with my dad? And what would have happened if he had said yes?